Yeah, I can hear you. How is my picture quality?
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, warm welcome to viewers all over the world joining us right now on YouTube for this interactive session, courtesy of the UFUB Dialogue. I am going to be having this interactive session, interviewing and asking some questions to an international star, a Nigerian former international footballer who has really made a great name nationally and internationally. I am very pleased, I'm really excited this evening all to join and really have this interactive session. I urge us all to make this very, very interactive by typing in your questions, and we are going to pass it on and ask my guest. My guest is a very, very, renowned Nigerian who actually made, his way right from Kaduna State. He started, his football career. He played for the national team, and among the very few that really made it high up there during the age, I'll call the golden age of Nigerian football. In the USA 94, he was there, played for the World Cup representing the country. My guest didn't just end there. He continually played for several teams. He went to Europe, he played in Europe, he went to Turkey, and participated in several, international competition. He retired, graciously and went into coaching. He really has so much passion for his country, Nigeria. He got back to the country and managed, the national team under our former national coach, Stephen Keshi. He also managed the national team under, Coach Amodu. And presently, I really, really feel excited and happy that he didn't just leave it at that. He came back and he has really coached, the national football, national football club. He also coached the Enyimba, football club right here in Nigeria. He didn't just end there. He is a proud family man. He is really blessed with wonderful kids. He has two boys, a twin, and a beautiful daughter. And two of his kids are footballers playing right now in Kwara State. So I'm really excited. I'm pleased. I'm very happy. I urge us all, football lovers all over the world, to just stay tuned as we really have this very, very informing, very, very exciting, very revealing interactive session with my guest. My guest is nicknamed the Bull, and I will take due permission from him to call him the Bull in the course of this interaction. And I know a lot of football lovers who already know who I'm talking about. My guest this evening is a professional colossus when it has to do with football. He has made that name and he will forever be remembered. So good evening, my various viewers all over the world. Let's make welcome Mr. Daniel Amokachi. Please, if you can hear me, good evening, Mr. Daniel Amokachi. Am I free to call you the Bull, please?
Yeah, I think that's a name that everybody knows me with. When you say Amokachi, people think twice, but when you say the Bull, I think it rings more bell. Pleasure is all mine. It's good to be wanted, and it's good to share experience with others. Ufuk Dialogue has been my family like forever, and I'm honored to be on this platform.
Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Bob, and I'm going to be asking the questions from this end, and we look forward to having a very, very nice interactive session. Really, there are so many questions we really have to ask, but I'll try as much as possible to keep them within, the time frame and see how we can benefit from this unique opportunity we have to interview, our great Daniel Amokachi. I call him the great Big Dan. Thank you very much for joining us. The very first question here, please, can you, first question here, please, can we meet you? Can you really tell us about yourself, please?
I think that you already said everything that they need to know about me. So, you practically went through the lane, the memory lane, and said a lot about me. So I think we should just hit the road. The most important thing, that you didn't mention, I'm presenting the Nigerian football ambassador, inaugurated by the Federal Republic, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. So I think you left that out. So just to chip that in, but you did a wonderful job by introducing me. Are you there, Bob?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Amokachi, we are with you. You can go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Well, like I said, he has already introduced me. I've said all that he needed to say. The only thing he left out is me being the Nigerian football ambassador inaugurated by the President of the Federal Republic, General Muhammad Buhari. I'm ready for any questions that he has for me, and we can move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Bob is back.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
Mr. Bob.
I was asking.
I love the interchanging because I thought Bobby has become white, so no discrimination. What are you wearing? Why are you wearing Besiktas, Jason?
Because I'm a fan of Beşiktaş and I have heard that you are here.
I'm Besiktas, Karakata.
En büyük Beşiktaş. Okay, I will ask the second question. So how did you become a footballer? Like what made you a footballer?
Well, it's very simple because if anybody tells you in my generation that this is the reason why he became a footballer, believe me, he's lying, because we grew up on the street. We grew up playing football, on the street. You wake up in the morning, you play football. When you are going to school, you play football. When you get to school, you play football. When you're coming back from school, you play football. When you got back home, you continue playing football at the street. That's the passion of an African. When you find yourself playing football, in my generation, practically everybody is talented. Everybody can play football, and then it encourages you to play football. And when we're growing up, football is not a profession. We just play for the fun of it. And then a few of us, and the fortunate ones were blessed, to make fame and fortune out of it.
Okay, I would really take the very next question. As a footballer, you really spend lots of time training. So how do you balance time, to have time for family and friends?
Well, that's the most difficult part about being a professional, because you spend if you're playing in a professional team, of course, you have enough time. You at home, with your family. You go for training, you come back, you are with your family. If you're going for away games or home games, you just miss, the family probably one night or two nights before the game, but you end up meeting at the stadium of the day of the game anyway. If you are playing, if for the national team, for example, it's a bit difficult. That's where you spend more time away from the family, because if you are in camp, for example, you camp a week, then you're away from the family for a week. You camp for 2 weeks, you're away from the family for 2 weeks. And if you're going for a major tournament, you're talking about a month or a month and a half. But there's the balance. So that's why whenever you have free space, you try as much as possible to spend most time with our family. But a lot of footballers, we try as much as possible to have quality time with the family. And a lot of us, we don't have that quality time that that a football player should have. But that is just the life of it.
That's very informing, Mr. Daniel Amokachi. Our youths, a lot of youths are joining us on YouTube. They will want to know, one trying to pursue his goal or dream. What are those steps you want to really rule out and say, okay, follow these steps, you will be successful?
I think the most important thing is knowing what you want. If you know what you want, you have to be committed 120%. You have to focus on what you do. You have to be professional enough. You have to be disciplined on and off the football field, and then you will achieve it. Our worries with the new generation is I'm talking about where I come from, Nigeria and Africa. We focus, most of our football leagues are not up there to par where our youngsters can get opportunity to showcase their talent. Like Nigeria, for example, I complain every day because young players at the age of 16, 17, 18, 19, they don't get opportunity to play in the league. Where you have the minimum age of a player who's playing in the league, you're talking about 29 or probably 26, about, and the oldest is about 38 or 30 something. So we need to create a platform where the young ones will have opportunity to showcase what they have, and that will definitely help. And that's the more reason why you see a young player today, he's not thinking about playing, in a domestic league. He's thinking about going professional straight up, and if our league is not organized and 100% professional, then we have, quality football players who fall victims, going to, countries like Vietnam, to Bangladesh, to India to play football, for a mere $1,000 or 1,000 euros or something like that. So, it doesn't make sense. If we sort our league well, then players will say, okay, we want to stay back. You look at South Africa, for example, you can count their professionals outside. They want to be in South Africa to play because they make good money. The facilities, the infrastructure is there. You look at the North Africans, even Ghana that we're talking about, is the same. We're talking of Zambia today, talking of Angola League. Those are leagues that are up there, and for us, we have to find a way to make our league a professional, a good, enable environment to bring, sponsors in, to make it a much, much better league.
Thank you very much, Sadan the Bull. I really want to wonder, was there any time, in your career that you had a setback and you actually felt like giving up? And what really pulled you through?
I love this beautiful game of football, no doubt about that. And that's where, my name, the Bull, comes from, because whenever I cross that white line, I give 120%, to the team. I think the only setback that I have in my professional career is, the injury that I had in 1998 World Cup, that, ending up becoming, my, what stopped me from continue my professional football career, because I stopped playing football at the age of 28, and the 28, that's the peak of any football player, but, that's an obstacle that I faced. But at the same time, I'm a strong believer. I believe in God. I believe in time, and I believe that the good Lord have blessed me with 10 years of professional career that I've won and I've achieved a lot that you mentioned, introducing me. So there's no regret, and He have blessed me to be a brand. That's why I'm sitting in front of you and in front of the world. For me to interact with them, because He has already blessed me. It doesn't matter if you stop football at the age of 28 or you finish it at the age of 35 or 36. What really matters is you achieving and establishing yourself in the world scene of whatsoever you do.
Wow, really good to know there. Really, really good to know. And a lot of youths watching live now, joining us on YouTube, we really want to know what advice you really have for them to really take football, not just as a hobby, not just for fun, but professional. As a profession, they can really devote time, dedication, discipline, and the spirit in it to be successful in football. What advice do you have for them?
Yeah, well, I think for youngsters, I think the advice is for the parents. The parents must find a way to to support a child in whatsoever child you want to do, and of course, you have your own second and third, options for him. Education is number one, is very, very key. But you find, a child who is keen in other professions. When we talk about, football, we talk about the entertainment sector as a whole. It's showbiz. Time has gone. Days are gone when, we look at football as not a profession. We look at the musician as not as a profession. We look at the comedian as not a profession. But that's entrepreneurship. The modern age have shown that these are the people that are living the life when it comes to showbiz. So when you see a child interested in something, I think as a parent, you should support that child and push him to his own goal. At the same time, you should let him know that education is key, because you need it when you need it, because in the profession that we are, the hazard is real, and the hazard can happen anytime. You can be a quality football player. I'm a living proof of it. Like I said, I stopped playing at the age of 28. If I don't have any grace in me, then I'll be doomed forever. If you are a comedian, you might be sitting on top of the wall, tomorrow you start cracking jokes that nobody likes and they forget about you. If you're a musician, when you start singing, nobody buys your album, nobody, you have no less followers. What do? You have to look back at that portfolio that you have. If it's the HND, if it's a diploma, if it's a master's, to kickstart a new chapter in your life. Move on.
Wow, quite inspiring. The bull, I must say, how did it feel like? Let's just give us a feel. What was it like the very first time you had your international debut? The very first time you were able to wear the international or the Nigerian flag, the Nigerian jersey internationally for a match out there. How did you feel?
Yeah, well, it's a grace, like I told you, I broke into the scene, as a youngster. First of all, I broke into Ranchers Biz that you mentioned in Kaduna, which is a premiership team. When I was becoming 16, I was a child. I was in school year 5 then. You understand. So and then playing among those great names that you hear, it can't get better than that. And the same year, you get called for the national team, and you are the youngest player, in the team to represent your country at an African Cup of Nations. And that tells you a lot of it. That feeling of you being the first, you being the youngest is not there, because we are passionate about football. Like I told you, we just play football for fun. We just play it for fun. Can you believe it that the same year that I was chosen to play for Rangers, the same season I was playing for the national team. A few months later, I was playing in Europe, with Club Brugge. The same season, you look at it, we were playing and we won. We won the Football League in Belgium, with Club Brugge, and I didn't even know that we won the league, because I was just having fun. I was just playing football. You understand? The game was over. I went into the locker room and I was alone. And the captain had to come. He came with a bouquet of flowers. I said, "What are you doing here? They are calling you outside. The whole fans want to see you." Because practically I scored, half of the goal that made us became champion that season. And that's the feeling. We play football then because we are passionate about it. We love this beautiful game of football. That's our life. That's what we know. So, you put in your JC then, for you it's a normal thing, because, you belong in that circle, because this is what you love doing. This is what, but for you to find yourself up there where, you see those legendary names that you've been admiring from behind, believe me, my brother, you just kneel down and look up to the heavens and tell them, "I bless your name forever."
Thank you very much. Like I said, you actually are a star. You're still shining. I remember for 3 consecutive times, you won the African Footballer of the Year, 3rd place, 3 times. That's not a little feat for any footballer to achieve within the continent. I want you to tell us, what was it like, managing the national team under Stephen Keshi and under Amodu? What were the challenges you had during that period, please?
Yeah, well, there are no challenges. I think they are all honors. Working with you mentioned 2 names. Those are 2 names. Saddened today that we don't have them with us. They are all deceased. May their soul rest in peace. But I believe that they are in a better place up there, because they are 2 wonderful souls. You understand? So it's always an honor to be among them, because I've learned a lot when it comes to football. With Amadi Shaibu. With Amadi Shaibu, I learned the managerial skill of a coach. With Stephen Keshi, I learned a lot about the tactical aspect of the game. When you have 2 of those coaches, Amadi Shaibu qualified Nigerian to 2 World Cups. And he never gone to even one. Stephen Keshi qualified Nigeria to the World Cup, qualified Togo to the World Cup for the first time. So you being among those people, then definitely you have to learn. It's not just them 2, but the quality of stars that we had, in that team. You mingle with different characters, different responsibilities, and then you learn a lot. So and that's what made me. And the grace that I have, I'm bold and I'm outspoken. So when you have that grace in you, it helps you, to propel you as a human being.
Really great. you want to share with us your experience in Finland. You coached in Finland, and one would really want to know because it's very cold over there. And we had, one of your interview where you were complaining of, the cold over there. How did you cope, coaching in Finland, please?
I had a call. I had a call in 2016 from the chairman of JS Hekeli, second division team in Finland. It was a surprise call. I never saw it coming. But apparently they were following me since I started my young coaching career, and they saw that I have what they need, to take the team to where they want the team to be. The blueprint and the vision that they had. It's very difficult to find a black person or a black man as a coach in Europe. Talk less of an African being a head coach in Europe, and you cannot say no to such phone calls. That phone call is a nama that dropped from heaven for you. You just have to embrace it. We had a good discussion, and the money was not too good, but who will turn such opportunity because of money? I said fine. I said wonderful. I will. We will talk. Send me whatsoever your vision is all about. Through the mail. Went through them and replied them, and I said I'm cool. From there we went. It's a wonderful experience. Finland, the team is in Oulu. It's like in the North Pole. Just I live next to Santa Claus.
Wow, interesting, very interesting.
It's freaking cold. I remember when I arrived. I think it was minus 24 when I arrived the first day. And before then, we're talking with my wife. I'm leaving the next day. She said, "Did you check the weather forecast? It's minus 26. Are you sure you want to go?" I said, "Why not? I've already pledged, and then let me go try it out." Arrived when it was minus 26 or 28. I was bleeding through my nose the whole week. I thought I caught something, and we saw the doctor, and he said it's my immune system. It's not used to a harsh weather like this. I should just keep keeping myself up, and that was it. I had a wonderful first season experience. And after the first season, the job, being a coach is not an easy job. And if the financial aspect of it is not too good, in just one season you will have gray hair like Moses in the Bible. So we sat down with the owners, and they said they cannot afford to let me go. They know the finance is not good, so like we should look into the hierarchy of football, and they said okay, they think I can fit into the technical director role, so that I'll be flexible to do other stuff, because I was making money from TV, I was making money, doing stuff for FIFA, doing stuff for CAF, and I'm turning all that down when I'm not making good money here. So all agreed. And as we sit today, when you enter the website of JS Hekeli, I'm still sitting as the technical director of the club. So it's a win-win
situation
for we all. Yeah.
Wow, good to know all this. Good to know really all these nice things about you. Let's get back home. I really know that just February you were, called upon by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to be the ambassador for football. So what are the main challenges with our Nigerian professional football?
Well, it's. I think it's. When you look at it, I think the most important thing is, you being recognized and being honored, by the #1 citizen, and then you working, with a minister who has a very good blueprint when it comes to youth and sport. I'm talking about the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sport, Mr. Sunday Dare, who in office, he hasn't been in office for more than 8 months, but he have touched all the chronics of angle of sports and youth, and trying to make a change and to make an impact. And when working with such mind and such brains makes life so easy for you, but at the same time, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of challenges when it comes, to football in Nigeria, because that's the #1 challenge you have. The league not being up there the way it should be. The welfare of the players not being too too well. The security aspect of the game not too well. Players and sport people not having those those pension schemes that will keep them after retirement, which I'm very proud of the honorable minister and the president of the Football Players Association, Tijani Babangida, who have worked very, very hard to see that players have platforms to sustain them after the football career. Another good initiative that was that started about a few months ago is the ministry focusing on all our legends that passed away, their families, taking care of them, families putting them on on monthly stipends, salaries, or whatever we call them, and it sends a good message because that the country never forgot you, the government never forget you, the people never forget you, but it's just a generation. We had a generation where we had some obstacles, the financial aspect of football players, we have no counselors, like in the modern age football, we don't have financial advisors. A lot of us, we declared bankruptcy. A lot of us lost a lot of money, and a lot of our colleagues and those before us and those after us, are still struggling when you see them. So that pension scheme will go definitely, a long way. Those are things that we try as much as possible, to voice out that, and they do what is right. But there's a lot to be done, and by special grace, when, like I said, when you're working with somebody who has a good mind, a good blueprint to make a difference in the sport ministry, life is easy for you. And we thank him, and we pray that the good Lord should continue giving him the grace to do the needful, for the youths, and the football sector in the country.
Yeah, good words there, good initiative and good ideas there, and we trust very well that you, being who you are, you really work with the minister and see that most of these initiatives will be brought to fruition. Interestingly, I really want to bring you back to Ufuk Dialogue. What are your thoughts about Ufuk Dialogue?
Well, when you have an organization that relates to to having peace in any environment, I think you just have to give them kudos. The charity aspect that comes, a lot of it, what they try to do, what they put in place, the way they relate, the way they try as much as possible, to bring all the ethnics, together, to believe that we are one human being. We should relate well, we should interact well, we should do what we need to do as a human being to make a better environment. Be somebody like me who grew up in a home where my father's hand is open to anybody. He doesn't discriminate. We are from Benue State. We grew up in the north. We are practically all houses. We are 7 in the family. Probably 5 of us, we don't even speak our dialect. We speak Hausa. Don't matter to be Hausa. So there is no discrimination. And when you see people, try to bring confusion and make the country or the world not to be a better place, that's where you give the organization like Ufuk, it's thumbs up, because we need such organization, and they've been around like forever, and they've done much. It's not for me to even say it. When you speak to a lot of imams, when you speak to a lot of bishops, when you speak to a lot of pastors, a lot of sheikhs, they will tell you more what is doing to contribute to bring peace and coexisting, to each one another. So they should keep doing what they're doing. We all have our obstacles, but we should continue striving, and one day we'll just look and smile and laugh, because challenges are always there to make us stronger.
Yeah, really, really nice, impression about Ufuk Dialogue there. Really, we have always noticed and known you for charity, philanthropic gesture. You've done a number of those, donations and gesture. We appreciate that. And generally, the world needs peace more than anything at this moment, within the continent, and generally all over the world. So we are encouraged to reserve in our hearts a place for everyone. So I don't know, what would you recommend that Nigerians, professionals like you, can take up to bring about, lasting peace and reduce the level of poverty and deprivation we have in the world?
I think everybody is doing what they can do. Which is when you look at life, having it and having the mind to do it is two different things. You understand? You can be a billionaire, you can be a millionaire, but if you don't have the grace and the heart to give, you won't have it. You can be a poor man on the street, but you have the heart to give it, you have the grace to give it, and you give what you even have to eat that day. So the only thing we can pray is we pray to the good Lord to give people grace to to stretch their hand so that we'll have a better place, so that our children, our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, our sisters, our neighbors, won't be hungry. So that's just the beauty of it. Because when you say you want to tell somebody to do, when I'm doing stuff, when we do stuff, when we put it on social media, we are not putting it there because we want to boast. We're putting it there for you to see, so that your mind will reflect to think you want to do the same. I have a lot of messages. People send messages, mails, and when they see something on social media that how can they help? Can I send that? Can I send my account number? And I said, no, I don't take dime from anybody to do it. You understand? I am in Abuja, for example. I'm doing it in Abuja. You that are sending me a message, where are you from? Onitsha, for example. So do the same thing I'm doing in Onitsha. So we are stretching. I don't need you to give me money to do it in Abuja, where I am. Because we need people to be spread, to be doing it, and then we will be one and do what is right. You understand? So that's the heart of giving. It's not, you want to be associated with a brand to do something.
Really, really
If
nice.
you are in Sokoto somewhere, do it in Sokoto. If you are in Lagos, do it in Lagos. If you are in Cross River, do it in Cross River. If you are in Vandikia or in Boko or in Zaria or in Ikotun, in Abeokuta, stretch your hand, do the little that you can do. Now we are reducing poverty, we are reducing hunger, and we're gonna make a difference. That's what I tell people. And the ones that appreciate it will thank me very much. Some will not even bother to get back to me again because they want to associate with my face being a brand. But that's not what it is. That's not why we're doing it. We're doing it because our hearts want us to do it. We're doing it because the Quran wants us to do it. We're doing it because the Bible wants us to do it.
You remain a motivation to so many youths, so many football lovers out over there. Interestingly, I want us to look at your stay in Turkey. While in Turkey, I want you to tell our youth, our viewers, which was your best team and who was the best player you played alongside with while in Turkey.
Well, I went to Besiktas in 1996 during the Olympics. The Olympics that we won, of course, in America. Uche Okechukwu was playing for Fenerbahce. Ali Shan was the president of Fenerbahce, and he wanted me and JJ Okocha, JJ Okocha, to be in Fenerbahce. Three of us being in Fenerbahce, he think they will be unstoppable. Fenerbahce will be unstoppable, but and I said I don't want to be the three Nigerians in one place. And luckily for me, Besiktas came in, the president, Suleiman Seba, may his soul rest in peace, who I can never forget because that's my father. He died the same day like my real father did, the same day, you know. So there's no way I can forget. I can forget such soul. You understand? So, you know, I love him to death because he's a traditional, he's a humble, you know, he's a natural traditional human being. That's just what I would say. He's heaven sent. Suleiman Seba is a heaven sent. You understand? So they contacted me, and then I said, okay, of course. Since Besiktas is the rival of Fenerbahce, play for Besiktas. You know, so and that was the journey. And you know, we flew all together. You know, JJ and Uche came to Turkey, and me I flew. I think we went straight to Russia. We had the first game, and that's where I met the team and all that. And the journey started, and then that's life. You know, I'm one person that the good Lord have blessed. You know, in Turkey, they tell me every day that when a player plays for one team, if you play for Besiktas, Fener, and the Galatasaray and Trabzon fan will hate you for life. You know, but you know, I was blessed that I played for Besiktas, and I'm loved by all Turkish. You know, so if I meet Galatasaray fan, they adore me. I meet Fenerbahce fan, they adore me. Trabzon, the rest. So you know, it's a good feeling, and you know, I still interact with my Turkish friends, my Turkish fans on social media. 99% of my fans in social media are not even Nigerian; they are Turkish. You know, that tells you how how the Kara cartel stands for. You know, so we are MU Besiktas, you know, for life. I had a wonderful time at the Inonu Stadium. You know, it can't get better than that. You know, and of course, you know, I played alongside. You know, Apai was there, crazy Apai, but one of the best center defenders. And then you have the present coach Sargan, who, for me, I think is one of the greatest player in the world because of his left foot, you know. But you know, he finished his football, you know, finished in Turkey. The world didn't get to see who Sergen is because, you know, as a child, as a youngster, it got into his head and his lifestyle didn't make him propel, you know, to the likes of JJ Okocha or to the likes of Maradona because he has the potential, you know, and of course El Toro was there, and El Toro was my very good friend, my best of friends that I spent time with his family and with him, and of course Typhoon was there. So there's a lot of players that I had, you know, a lot of I relate with a lot. I don't single-handedly pick one person. I'm a person that like to interact with everybody. Believe
Interesting.
me, I had a lot of fun, you know.
Very, very interesting. You're well traveled, and in fact, your experiences in Turkey, they are really heartwarming. One would really be inquisitive. We want to know, are you planning on maybe establishing a football academy or a football club, or you want to really come up with something that could grow or bring up young talents? Because I can see how passionate you are about everything football.
Yeah, well, definitely, but you know, I'm not in a position now to say it's what is in my heart and it's what I'm working on. But I'm not. I don't have the $6 to $10 million today to you know, to put an infrastructure down to make it a proper, you know, academy because you know, in Nigeria, for example, you know, we have 1,000,001 football academies, which is I say it's a so-called football academy because you have, you know, a space who is sitting under 1,000 square meter or 2,000 square meter, and you call it an academy. That's not how an academy sits, you know, above, you know, 5 hectares, you know, above 5 hectares, where you can have, you know, the educational aspect of it, and then of course the technical aspect of it, and then the football aspect of it, you know, and you should have about, you know, 3 to 4, you know, football pitches, and then you should have, you know, other sports like a swimming pool, you know, medical center, you know, and all that. You know, that's my dream, and by special grace of God, I know it will come to pass because whatsoever I want to do, whatsoever I send my mind on, the good Lord always bless me to see it through. So, I might be after this our conversation, maybe you will send me $5 million and say I should start. So
yeah, very, very interesting. Sorry, share with us your unforgettable moments in football. The moment you never will forget. And I was guessing it would be maybe the goal you scored in USA 94 or something, because that actually turned the table around. So I don't know, what's that unforgettable moment also?
Yeah, well, there are a few. There are a few. My life, like I said earlier, I played 10 years of good professional football. That I was blessed, to win some laurels. Being the first player to score in the UEFA Champions League. Being the first, African, the first Nigerian to win, the African Cup, the FA Cup at Wembley. And being an Olympian. Every club that I go to, I win laurels, so it cannot get better than that. But to be at the World Cup for the first time, as a player, for the first time as a nation, in '94 cannot get better than that. We have, may so rest in peace, Ekwan Rashid, who practically scores the whole goals. And for him to score the first goal, and then I was blessed to score the second goal. And that's why when you see my celebration that day, it was out of this world, because I was so excited that I don't even have music in my head, but I ran to the corner and I started dancing. You understand? So moment like that I can never forget, because if you're gonna talk of world football, Nigerian football, African football, or world football, any World Cup, they always play that video. So that sticks in my head, forever.
Very green memories there. Very, very green memories there. In fact, I am very excited. And we have a number of youths who are, following us right now on YouTube. And one of them will want to know that why is it so difficult for Nigerians to get to Europe or to get to further their football career? Why is it so difficult getting to that horizon?
Yeah, because football now is a profession. I don't know if he's talking about our players who wants to leave Nigeria to Europe, or he's talking about our players who are playing in Europe and are not playing for the top team. So where is he coming from?
Actually, he's talking about the top team, playing for, the very top team out there.
Well, I think we had our own faces, and right now I think we're having a bunch of youngsters who are paving the way. Igalo is in Manchester United. Ndidi, by the special grace of God, after this season, he will be playing in one of the top teams. You have Osimhen, who they are trying to work a deal to go to Napoli. If it doesn't work in Napoli, they are looking for a Premiership team. You have Chikwueze, who is in Villarreal. So, those are names, those are key players who are doing that. And the good thing about, players playing in the top league is if you have 2-3, your countrymen doing well in a certain team, the other clubs in other leagues focus on that player, on that country, and then bring in those players. We have a very good bunch of young generation who would make this country proud, believe me. And we just need the right players on the field at the right moment, to take us to that glory day.
So really nice there, knowing how one can excel if one takes football not just as a hobby, like you mentioned, but profession, and to really follow through. I don't know, after retirement from football, how did you really feel moving out of the spotlight? You weren't really psychologically, did it really have any impact on you?
Well, definitely at first, you will feel the wrath, because this is what you love doing, and it's not that you are old, that you stopped at the right time. Like I said, I was blessed, for 10 years to play professional football, stopped at the age of 28. But I think that belief and that grace of knowing that if you believe in God, you must believe in time, and you must believe in the destiny that He has upon, to come to follow you, and I think that is, the stress a bit for me, because, I remember going through hell during my rehab and all that, and finding out that maybe I might never play football again, and I came back home. When I came back to Nigeria, I was in Kaduna, it reflected to me that, Yeah, you love football. You're still passionate about football. If you can't play it, you can coach it. That's a grace on its own. I spoke to my friend in Holland who is heading the Dutch, the KNVB World Coaching, association under the Dutch Football Federation, and he organized for me to go for a coaching course, and that was the beginning of another chapter. So it made life easy. That's just it. But if I was, blindsided, grinding my teeth every second, I wouldn't even think about. Probably God wouldn't even give me the grace to think about, coaching in that aspect. But the sooner I stop playing football, the quicker. I'm still into football. I'm into coaching.
Interesting there. Interesting there. The bull. Again, I must say, how are you coping during this period of the pandemic? Share with us.
Yeah, well, when you say coping, I'm a respondent. I'm always on the field. So, like you mentioned earlier, we were always on my foundation, the Amokachi Foundation, and the Edu Plus, Amokachi Edu Plus Foundation, with my brother's foundation, Alex Adingi. We focus on feeding the respondents, because we kind of forget what the respondents do, because they are putting their lives in the front line for us. They are risking their life, risking their family's life to be out there, to keep us well. And we spend time with them. We try to feed them every day, and cooked food or raw food, to send to their family back home. And at the same time, of course, our own neighborhood, our own people around us, people that need help. And we try as much as possible to share palliatives, so that they can sustain, a bit, because it's a rough patch. This pandemic has caused a lot of economic restriction. The economy has hit rock bottom. People cannot afford, to go to the market every day or to go out and hustle to make a few money to eat. And we're living in a country and in a community where you have to hustle to eat daily. You have people that they have to go and hawk to eat. You have people that have to come out and fry akara before they eat. You have people that come to sell tea. People that have to polish your shoes to eat. People that have to go to the market and push wheelbarrow to eat. Those are the people that are suffering. It's not those that are living in a big house that you can afford to go and buy everything in the market and put it in the store. Those are the people that are focused on. But at the same time, we just keep letting people know that yes, the government is trying as much as possible to ease, the tension, but COVID-19 is real, and that is the message that we have to keep sending out there. Because a lot of people still believe it's a hoax. A lot of people still believe the government is using it to just make money. Of course, a lot of people are making money out of it, but the disease is real. The disease is real. So we keep, counseling people, keep, promoting, the voice keeps singing the same song. COVID-19 is real. Yes, there is a lot of restriction, but keep doing the needed. Mask yourself up, wash your hands as much as you can. Sanitize your hand whenever you can. Here, we're somewhere in an environment where people start coughing or sneezing. That doesn't mean they have COVID, but just distance yourself, away from them and protect yourself from that. Try as much as possible when you go out. Try and sanitize your hand. Try and wash. Yeah, of course we forget. This hand that we are talking about is in our body. It's a normal thing. You just sit down, you just see person, you like this person, start touching his face. We are humans, we do it. So that's why we have to try as much as possible to keep, singing the same song, to let them know to be cautious, to be cautious, to be cautious. And of course, I won't forget the Folk Dialogue Foundation too, and the NTIC Foundation. I think, every time I need them, they are always there for me. To help me to reach out, to people that I can reach out. They're doing a wonderful job, and not just only when it comes to palliative, but when it comes to educational, necessities, they are always there for me. So, thank you very much, for Dialogue for always being there and doing what you're doing to bring peace and change life for others.
Yeah, really nice to know those very nice initiatives you're carrying out there. And it's always a pleasure partnering with you. The bull, I call him, Mr. Daniel Amokachi. I really want to really take a few more questions again. I don't know, tell us about what you feel about the family. Yeah, your feeling or how passionate are you about the family? Your family,
About
please.
well, everybody is passionate. Have you seen a father that is not passionate about his blood? So it's like, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have, five children. You mentioned the three. We're having Nazim Alonso Amokachi. You have Kalim Noah Amokachi. You have Raya Iman Amokachi, who my Tunisian wife, had them for me. And I have another set of twins that a Nigerian lady, may her soul rest in peace. We lost her about a few months ago. Bought them for me. They are 16 years old. Denzel Amokachi and Yasmin Amokachi. They're in America, in Georgia, at the moment. So I have five blood, in my veins. So people tell me that every time I shoot twins. So that's just to let you know. So we try as much as possible to make them happy and put smile. We are not, and Amokachi is not that rich the way it's supposed to be to put smile on their faces every time. But I try as much as we could. We stumble, we fight, but we move on. So when they ask how is your family, I said we apologize to them every second. So make them be patient with us.
Family indeed is everything. Family is everything. So I don't know. I really want to know your thoughts about the national team, the Super Eagles. I don't know what you feel about the Super Eagles.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, we have a bunch of young quality players. No doubt about that. We have a generation that can make us very, very proud. And what I tell people is like, okay, like you want to cook a good egusi soup, you will go to the market and buy ingredients to cook a very good egusi soup. When you go there, you buy those good egusi ingredients, but you don't mix them well, then the soup will not come out well. So that's why we need, to do the right thing, to put the right players, in the team, to take the flag up there the way it belongs. That's just all I was saying, when it comes to that part.
Okay, and now you will now tell us about the Bastek and the Eagle. The Eagle, the sign you were, trying to demonstrate initially. Tell us.
Did any Besiktas fan told you for me to do that? I've done it. How many times have I done it for you?
Okay.
So like I told you, I'm a Besiktas, for life. So
yeah, my colleague, Mr. Aida, will just want to say.
That's why I'm telling you, is somebody that is asking for me to do the karakata. It's not serious. That is in my blood, so I don't need to do the eagle sign for you to know that I'm Besiktas. I'm Besiktas for life. I'm Besiktas.
Mr. Amokachi, are you still following Beşiktaş?
Like, yeah, of course. Why not? My blood is Besiktas. The way my blood is Nigeria, that's the way my blood Besiktas is. So I follow Besiktas every day, every second. I follow their progress, and we keep in touch with some of the officials.
When I was a child, when we were playing, if we see anyone that is fast, we will call him like, okay, Amokachi is going to shoot. So you are really a legend for fan of Beşiktaş. Actually, for everyone in Turkey, you are a legend.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. And thank you for Beşiktaş for giving me the platform to showcase my...
Abi, thank you so much for attending our program. It was excellent, and also I am really appreciate for attending our program. I think all questions is already answered. Thank you so much.
All right. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much.
Remember, stay safe.
Thank you.
Stay Remember and stay.
Okay,
And stay.
goodbye.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Do what you need to do. Wash your hands, sanitize yourself. COVID-19 is real. All right,
Sure.
bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye.